All right, it's time for me to drink the potion that deletes all your evil. I sure hope nothing goes wrong. Well, bottoms up. Jesus fucking Christ, what the I'm Hyde! I'm Hyde! I'm Edward Hyde! Just kidding, guys, it's me, Sid. I'm gonna do my video now. Jekyll and Hyde, the musical. Not beloved by many, but the few who do love it wholeheartedly. Or at least they love the concept album version, which is far superior to the final product. But it's left many fans wondering, what the fuck happened? Hello everybody, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Sid Says. It's called that because I'm Sid and I'm saying things to you. And right now I'm saying Jekyll and Hyde the musical fucking sucks. So what is Jekyll and Hyde the musical? Well, believe it or not, it's based on a story called Jekyll and Hyde, or rather, Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, written by Robert Louis Stevenson in 1886. The novella tells the story of Dr. Jekyll, a chemist who makes himself a potion that allows him to drastically change his appearance so he can partake in a whole host of nefarious activities under the guise of being a completely different man, Mr. Hyde. This story has been endlessly intriguing to people since it was published, resulting in numerous adaptations, including the musical. So who's to blame? I mean, who's responsible for making Jekyll and Hyde the musical? That honor belongs to the one and only Frank Wildhorn. Wildhorn is a born and raised Jewish New Yorker, but when he was 14 years old, his dad got sick of the East Coast winters and moved the whole family to Hollywood, Florida. In high school, Wildhorn taught himself to play piano by sneaking in practice on his sister's Yamaha. His professional career as a composer began in the 80s when he worked with popular artists such as Trace Adkins, Kenny Rogers, Patti LaBelle, Natalie Cole, and Whitney Houston. He even wrote one of her international #1 hits, Where Do Broken Hearts Go? So now that he's kinda hot shit, he wants to dip his toes in Broadway. But why? Well, in a Legends of Broadway interview, he cites a few inspirations. First was his friend Leslie Bricusse, an established lyricist for both movie and stage musicals, and he's had a very impressive career. He's credited with writing music and lyrics for musicals like the Gene Wilder Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory and beloved queer classic Victor Victoria starring Julie Andrews. And fun fact, Victor Victoria was later adapted for the stage by Wildhorn and Leslie. Leslie has also written some crazy popular songs from musicals that were later covered by famous artists like Harry Sacombe's If I Ruled the World, Shirley Bassey's Goldfinger, and Nina Simone's Feelin' Good. Yeah, so pretty impressive career as well. Wildhorn also credits his then wife, Linda Eder, who he met when she won the talent competition show Star Search in 1988. And finally, he cites his last inspiration for wanting to get into musicals. And that inspiration is the nefarious Andrew Lloyd Webber. Or more specifically, Webber's crazy lucrative concept albums for later shows Jesus Christ Superstar and Evita. But here's the funny thing. I got all this info from an interview he did, right? So we've got video proof of him saying this stuff. But it doesn't add up because he kept saying he and Leslie finished their demo in...
Leslie Bricusse came into my life. It actually was in 1988, 89, which was a great year for me. That's when Whitney did Where Do Broken Hearts Go, when Linda won Star Search. And about the same time, Leslie Bricusse and I were writing Jekyll and Hyde.
But checking the timeline, the first demo actually came out in 86, and the second came out in 87. Okay, so maybe he just got his years mixed up. It's fine, we've all done it. There's plenty of stuff I could have swore happened in 2016, but actually happened in 2017. It's an easy mistake to make. But what isn't an easy mistake to make is who helped you write these fucking demos, Frank? Because while Leslie did indeed help you write the lyrics for the '87 demo, later concept albums, and the official musical, I believe it was actually one Steve Kuden, who not only wrote the lyrics for your '86 demo, but also helped you write the book for this musical. A Steve Kuden who you did not mention once in your interview, Frank. And I have receipts because I found the '86 demo album on YouTube, and Steve Kuden is credited as the lyricist on the damn cover art. Oh, and I noticed something else, Frank. You said yourself that Linda was the one singing on your demo tracks and that her beautiful vocals are what helped you sell your idea.
And I played him the demos of Jekyll and Hyde and the ones that Linda was singing the big songs. So, and he rolled up his sleeves to show me the hair standing up on his arm. And he said, "I tell you what," he said, "I'm going to sign the show. We're going to make this record for you. And who's this girl? Because if she doesn't have a deal, I'm going to sign her today." And he did both of those things.
But that's not entirely true either, because not only is it clearly not Linda singing in the '86 demo, but the vocals are credited to an entirely different person. Two people, actually. Tuesday Night as Lucy and Gillian Gallant as Lisa. And the demos were released in '86 and '87, at least 2 years before you even claimed to have met Linda in '88. But it's very clearly Linda singing on the '87 demo. So what is the truth, Frank? Listen, I might not have the whole story, but the timeline is looking a little fishy if you ask me. It's looking like some revisionist history to me. For why? Perhaps we'll never know. But what I do know is that I listened to both demo albums, so let's talk about them. The '86 demo is interesting and offers our first glimpse at Wildhorn desperately wanting Jekyll and Hyde to be the next Sweeney Todd with the opening number, The Ballad of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I do like the melody of this one. You can hear motifs in it for the song Alive, which does eventually make the cut for the official stage version, unlike this song. The lyrics, however...
Dr. Jekyll so good and kind, a gentleman always so refined, but lying in wait was another side. All its evil personified. No matter what the doctor tried, he was trapped forever in Mr. Hyde.
Yeah, they're not great. Maybe now we know why Frank didn't mention Steve in his interview. Since Frank clearly wanted this song to be the Ballad of Sweeney Todd so bad, why don't we compare and contrast them by looking at their lyrics? Sweeney Todd's opening lyrics are, "Attend the tale of Sweeney Todd. His skin was pale and his eye was odd. He shaved the faces of gentlemen who never thereafter were heard of again. He trod a path that few have trod, did Sweeney Todd. The demon barber of Fleet Street." And Jekyll and Hyde's opening lyrics are, "Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, one and the same on opposite sides, took a town on a terrible ride. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. A curious tale I have to tell of good intentions gone straight to hell." So right off the bat, Sweeney Todd's lyrics are more ominous and mysterious. They don't outright tell us anything about Sweeney that's terribly clear. The lyrics only become truly understandable if you know the whole story, but you can understand them just enough to know that they're implying something very bad happened with Sweeney and that he perhaps is to be feared. Jekyll and Hyde, on the other hand, has very literal lyrics. They outright tell you that Jekyll and Hyde are one and the same and that they fuck things up and bad things happened. There really isn't any mystery or sense of dread or suspense. On top of that, there's the music. While I did say I liked the music of the Ballad of Jekyll and Hyde, that is true. I don't think it works for what Frank wants to convey. It's too upbeat, it's too cheery, and it clashes with the lyrics horribly, even if it is a bop. Sweeney Todd, on the other hand, has these low droning horns and these high violins that contrast each other to create this dissonance that makes you know that something is wrong, that you should feel on edge, that the lyrics don't contradict that, they enforce it. So anyway, now that I've thoroughly shitted on this bargain bin Sweeney Todd, let's actually talk about what the lyrics tell us. It serves the same purpose as the Ballad of Sweeney Todd, telling us the tragic tale that is yet to come and setting the tone of the show. even if done badly.
Sir Danvers, you've done it again. Another great party with creme de la creme. Sir Danvers, you've got to be proud with all of the royalty here in this crowd.
The next track on the demo is The Engagement Party, an 8-minute exposition dump of a song. A version of this song did make it to the stage play, but it is very different. The music, the lyrics, the plot elements, this is pretty much an in-title only type situation. This song starts with Jekyll's friend, John Utterson, as our narrator, telling us that 2 months before the end of the play, Jekyll and his fiancée Lisa are going to be married, and that Lisa's father, Chief of Surgery, Jekyll's boss, and good friend, Sir Danvers Carew, has put on this surprise engagement party to celebrate. But all is not peaches and cream, because there's some drama with a Dr. William Scheiss who was courting Lisa until Jekyll swooped in and supposedly stole her away from him. Scheiss is in attendance and hears some women gossiping about this, so he calls them out and very unconvincingly says that he wishes Lisa and Jekyll all the happiness they deserve before stumbling off. And the ladies gossip some more about how he's probably drunk and definitely not happy about the engagement. Can't be subtle about anything, can we? Anyway, the ladies gossip some more about how Lisa was the one to make the first move in the relationship because Jekyll was too shy. And that she has this sort of wild and domineering personality that came out more after her mother died. I don't find this exposition completely necessary, but I do like how it establishes Lisa as a more independent character. Let's see how well that holds up. The ladies also mention how Jekyll is a total hottie and that they'd give anything to be in Lisa's shoes. From there, Jekyll himself enters the scene and the story for the first time, played by Chuck Wagner, by the way. Utterson yells at him for being late, and Henry responds in this almost like shy little boy way, like he's all soft-spoken and stuttering and shit. He's like, ooh, I'm sorry, Utterson. I didn't mean to be late. Oh, I get so into my work, you know? And this is very interesting because it's very different from the bold, confident Jekyll we see in the official show. But Henry explains in vague terms his plan for the future, planning to present his findings to the hospital board in order to make the world a better place. And this is the only part that resembles the final version of the song. It's got the same melody. But Lisa shows up and Jekyll and Scheiss harmonize as they both lust for her or whatever. But Lisa only has eyes for Jekyll. And even he's like, why the fuck do you like me, Lisa? I'm socially awkward and weird. And Lisa just vaguely says that there's something about him. Okay, sure, girl. So they sing their love song the first time.
I knew that it must be it could only be love.
Once again, did not make the final cut. It doesn't really give us anything new, it's just them saying how Lisa is so hot and how Jekyll is shy and awkward and that they love each other. I did like it though. It's basic but it's sweet. Makes me feel all fuzzy. The next song is Find My Way Again.
And I find my way.
And it's another duet between Lisa and Jekyll, just saying how she accepts his weird scientific obsessions. It's alright. Now we've got Alive. OGs will know this one. The song where Hyde, part of Jekyll and Hyde, makes his debut. It really is a MIDI file version of Alive, and the lyrics are all different and worse, but the concept is there. Chuck Wagner's eating it up though. He's selling it.
There's a wonder in knowing that I've finally arrived, being alive. There is a fire that's raging inside, unsanctified, being alive.
This song is also where we meet Lucy, Hyde's sex worker love interest. Sorry, I'm not sure how else to describe her character. Now we've got If She/He Only Knew, yet another duet between Jekyll and Lisa.
If she only knew how much I love her.
It's kind of boring, it's whatever. But now it's time for Murder, Murder, another fan favorite. much more subdued in this version. And also the lyrics suck as part for the chorus, but they're like so bad in this version, I was laughing out loud listening to them.
Last night Marie was murdered. Oh no, Marie was murdered.
Also, only working girls are killed in this version, which probably comes from the correlation between the Jekyll and Hyde novella and the Jack the Ripper killings. But yeah, it's just about how a bunch of sex workers are being murdered. So Hyde sucks real bad. But, he's supposed to. So what can he do? But after that, we've got Letting Go, which somehow miraculously made it to the final cut. And it's even more miraculously not that different from the final version, other than the lyrics.
Letting go of the things you hold dear is never easy.
It's fine. If you know me, then you know that this song has always been one of my least favorites. It's boring. It's a daddy dollar love song. Let's move on. Waiting There Tonight is yet another fucking Jekyll and Lisa duet. I was so over at this point. It wasn't even decent.
In the quiet of this room, I am alone and so afraid.
Boring. Next. The last song from this demo is Till Forever, and would you believe it? It's another Lisa and Jekyll duet. No, I'm not joking. This song sucks.
Until forever, I'll always love you.
I legit don't know why Frank thought it was so necessary for Jekyll and his fiancée to have so many duets in this Jekyll and Hyde musical. But other than that, I thought this demo was okay. Like, it was bad, but it wasn't unlistenable, so I guess that counts for something. With a few exceptions, the vocals on this demo were rough, but it's just a demo, so this isn't really a critique, it's just an observation. I just had to point it out. I did enjoy the unintentional camp of the shitty lyrics and bad vocals, so I would listen to this again just for the meme of it. 3 out of 10. Alright, now it's 87 demo time. I'll start by saying this demo is very poor quality because it wasn't made for general consumption, so you'll have to excuse that. But that aside, this one is already leagues better in terms of lyrics and vocals because now Leslie and Linda are here. And Linda voices both Lisa and Lucy in this version, and Chuck Wagner is still Jekyll. So the first song is still the ballad of Jekyll and Hyde. It's the same musically, but the lyrics are much better now. Not great, but much better.
There's a story meant for you to tell, a tale of two men who tempted hell. We know one man was good and true, but he turned himself into two. A saga of reckless and ruthless pride. That's Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
The next song is Facade, which is another well-known one by fans, but it sounds so different. It's like all moody and psychedelic guitars and shit, but the melody is weirdly the same. And the lyrics are pretty much the same as the second concept album, but I'm getting ahead of myself.
If you live around here, you'll need plenty of cash, cause the houses round here was designed by John Nash, and the front bit is what's called a facade.
All you need to know now is the townspeople are singing about how the rich people of London put on airs of being good people, but are actually pieces of shit. Thematic, I know. The next song, Sir Danvers, is similar to the song The Engagement Party from the first demo.
Sir Danvers, tell charming spy.
The evenings you give are the best, I must say.
But this time, the gossiping ladies have been replaced with named characters. Lady Beaconsfield, Sir Archibald Proops, and the Bishop of Basingstoke. These characters will all carry over to the stage, but they're all praising Sir Danvers for throwing the engagement party and gossiping about Simon Stride and how he thought he would marry Lisa until Jekyll swooped in and snatched her up. If you're confused, Simon used to be the character named William Scheiss in the first demo. They're the same character, he's just got a better name now. The name Simon Stride will carry on to the official musical. But now we're with Lisa and Simon, the latter of which is questioning her reasons for choosing Jekyll over him.
Lisa Carew, can this be you? What kind of man is this you've taken? Can you not see the kind of life that this would be? You are mistaken.
And once again, this song, called Lisa's Reasons, is very practically identical to the final product called Emma's Reasons. Then we get another infamous Lisa and Jekyll duet with the song Someone Like You, which will be interesting for fans because this song is later reworked into a solo piece for Lucy to sing. But it's a pretty generic love song in this version. Lisa and Jekyll love each other, that's all you need to know. But now we've got the Hospital Board of Governors, where Jekyll is pitching his crazy idea to the hospital.
Distinguished governors, I have glimpsed the future.
This version is significantly shorter than the final product at 2 minutes long, and only contains Jekyll's plea to the board without any of them responding, so I guess we don't get to know how they feel about it. All we know is that his proposal was rejected, because now we get a reprise of the ballad of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde that says the quiet part out loud about how upset Dr. Jekyll is about being rejected, and it does some more foreshadowing of what's to come. And the next song, 7 Solid Years, Jekyll's Disbelief, is Jekyll complaining about how the board rejected him.
7 solid years of work for nothing, all because a bunch of dunder-headed fools don't understand me.
This song would later be absorbed into the Board of Governors song for the stage play. And I understand why, because it's such overkill here. Like, I get it. He's sad. He's gonna do something drastic. Let's find out what it is. But not now. Later. Because first, we've got to get to Lucy's song, A New Life.
A new life.
This song would be moved to a much later time slot in the musical, but it's basically unchanged. Maybe like a slightly different tempo, but they got this 1-1. Good job, guys. Pack it up. But yeah, this song is Lucy talking about how much she wants a new life because her current one is pretty shitty. Pretty self-explanatory. Next, we've got another reprise of the ballad. This time, our Greek chorus tells us that Simon is still crazy jealous of Jekyll and foreshadows that they may get into some kind of altercation later. Time for another obligatory Jekyll and Lisa duet with Possessed, I Must Go On.
I must go on with the work I'm committed to. Why would I not when my theories are true?
A version of this song just titled Possessed or I Must Go On makes it to the musical, but it's pretty different. That one is basically just a love song, but this one is Jekyll crashing out and Lisa like desperately trying to comfort him through it. But the melody is the same in there. Sometimes there are also some motifs of another song that it eventually turns into in the final product, but more on that later. But now it's time for Hyde with the first transformation.
All at once, I can see the perfect answer. Dangerous. Yes, it's dangerous.
Pretty 1-to-1 to the final product with some minor melody and lyrical differences. The only major difference is this song is much shorter. Also, the transformation part of it is really funny.
My God, what's this?
And now it's time for Alive.
What is this feeling of power and drive I've never known? I feel alive. I have a thirst that I cannot deprive. Never have I felt so alive.
This is much more similar to the final product with some lyrical differences. The biggest difference is that in this version, Hyde watches Lucy walking around with a man dressed in black that he feels is familiar but decides to put this off for later. Anyway, Chuck Wagner eats this shit. He goes off. I would say it's my second favorite rendition I've heard so far. The next song, 1, 2, 3, completely took me off guard. It sounds so different from anything that would come before or after it in any iteration of the musical. I don't know for sure what it is story-wise, but it's very much a bar song, so I'm guessing this is a song Lucy performs at her brothel. It's very jaunty. I like it. But now we've got to wind back down again with His Work and Nothing More, a version of which would also make the final cut. This song is just Utterson, Lisa, Sir Danvers, all talking about how Jekyll is acting weird now and how he needs to get his shit together. But a difference is that during Lisa and Sir Danvers' part, she comments how her mother raised her to be a doctor's wife, which I don't like.
I am quite content to be a doctor's wife. My mother trained me well, she married you.
I'm glad they cut that part. So now Lucy sings her version of Someone Like You.
Someone like you.
Pretty similar to the final product. She wants Jekyll to love her, yada yada, you get it. We get our first alive reprise in this version. It's the same shit. Hyde, he feels evil and alive. We get it. So let's talk about some real shit. Murder, murder. It's back, baby, and better than before. The tempo is up. The lyrics are not finalized, but they're getting there. They're really getting there. But yeah, murder is happening. Things are bad. But good news, the murder victims aren't a bunch of sex workers this time. No, Hyde is no longer indiscriminately murdering a bunch of underprivileged women. Now he's getting revenge. He's going after the board of governors from the hospital that rejected his proposal. You know them. We met them earlier during the engagement party. You know, Lady Baconfeld and Archibald Fuckface and Bishop Who Gives a Shit. You remember them, right? Well, they're dead now. So now we cut back to Lucy with her infamous song, Good and Evil. Now, this song does, unfortunately, make it to the final rounds. And I say unfortunately because I hate this fucking song. And it won out against a far superior Lucy song. But more on that later. For now, let's talk about Lucy's shitty song. Or should I say, Simon Stride's shitty song. Because in this version, Stride is the one singing it. And I'm not gonna lie, I fucking love this version of the song because it makes so much more fucking sense than Lucy singing it, because the lyrics are all about how you have to decide for yourself what good and evil means to you. When Lucy sings it, it's just a shitty burlesque number, but when Stride sings it, it's about his twisted justification for doing the evil things he does, because we find out Stride is the mysterious man seen walking with Lucy and alive, and is in fact the person who owns the brothel she works at. And this song is what he's singing to his ladies. He got side to him, that Stride. And this is also much more thematically relevant than any other song that's ever been written for this musical. It also keeps Stride relevant as a character because, unfortunately, he becomes so irrelevant in later drafts that I think it would have been better to cut his character altogether. But yeah, great song when Stride's the one singing it.
But far from the way that things are to remain good and evil, then try to be evil and good.
I wish they kept his whole plotline in, but as we'll learn, Frank is the king of self-sabotage. Now we've got to sit through this version's rendition of my least favorite song, Letting Go.
You are everything in life I treasure most.
Your daughter's getting married. Get over it. She's not dying. Unlike everyone else. Next is one of my favorites, No One Must Ever Know. It's a weirdly different tempo from the version that I'm familiar with. Like, listen to this.
No one must ever know what I have done, for if anyone does, all my work is undone.
Do you see what I mean? Anyway, the lyrics are a little different, but the message is still the same. Jekyll's kind of losing it over the guilt of killing all these people. He's not in a good place. So now Lucy's back in play with the song No One Knows Who I Am. This one did make it to the final musical, but they moved it up to be her introductory number, which I'll never understand. It really doesn't work there because the song is about how she feels like her life is over and she's kind of giving up. So, like, strange choice, but all right.
No one knows who I
Now we've got the song Midnight, which only exists in this demo. It's another Hyde song, and I can see why it was cut because it serves the same purpose as a live, but I kind of fucks with it. It's very cheesy in a delightful way, and Chuck fucks it up. Go Chuck.
The one thing that's certain is nothing is certain, 'cause no one is safe after midnight.
Once Upon a Dream. This one does make the final cut. Lisa sings it. She's singing about how she's sad. She's losing Jekyll to something she doesn't understand because she is left fully in the dark with all of this. This is, I'm going to say, this is one of my least favorite songs. Like, it's fine, but it's boring. I don't really care about it.
once upon a dream.
Next, this is the moment. Did make the cut. One of the best songs from Jekyll and Hyde. Weird placement this go around though. Usually this is what Jekyll sings before he takes the potion for the first time, but in this demo it's more of his second wind, Don't Give Up song. The lyrics are pretty similar, but I think it still works. Not as powerful as my fave version of it, but pretty good. I'm not turning my nose up at it.
The greatest moment of
We're coming in on the final stretch now with It's Over Now. This song did make the final cut in a way as it became the opening to the infamous confrontation.
It's over now, I know inside. No one will ever know.
This is like a beta confrontation. Slightly different tempo, delivery, spookier vibes. No big confrontation though. The confrontation is missing from the confrontation. But hey, we still have time. That's the name of the next song. Shocker, it's another Jekyll and Lisa duet. It did not make the final cut.
We still have time for love to guide us.
It's boring. Not a fan. Next. The final song is the ballad of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, reprise 3. Don't lie. You kind of forgot about this song by now, didn't you? I know I did. It's basically the same thing as the first ballad. It's just recapping the story now. So, good job, guys. Overall thoughts. Love how I can feel it coming together now. Significantly better vocals. Love that Linda is with us now. Love the stride shit. Wish they kept that in. 5 out of 10. But we've got more exploring to do, baby. We're done with demos. It's time for concept albums. So So now that Frank has his little crew of himself, Linda, Leslie, they got their little precast demo together, Wildhorn goes to all the record companies that he made a lot of money for previously to get funding for his new little project. But they all turn him down due to his lack of experience in the Broadway scene. But he finally gets a break when he's in London and he gets a meeting with BMG Studios president John Preston and plays him the demo recordings. And Preston's balls were blown clean off and he was like, I'm gonna fund this whole thing. Not just here in London, but in the States too. We're gonna get you an album and we're gonna get you a full show. Don't you worry about it, baby girl. So now that he's fully invested, Frank gets the legendary Combe Wilkinson, who had just been in Les Mis on the West End at the time, to play Jekyll and Hyde in the first concept album titled Highlights from Jekyll and Hyde. So let's have ourselves a little listen, shall we? Weirdly enough, the first song on the disc is Lisa's Once Upon a Dream. So I knew the songs had to be out of order from the intended story order because this just makes no damn sense. So I did a little digging and yeah, this album is basically just a best of hits because of budget restraints. Not sure why Frank decided to include this one though, let alone make it the first track, because it's boring as hell.
Once upon a dream.
Linda has a beautiful voice, but it's still boring as hell. Next, we've got the hospital board. We know this one. Combe Wilkinson is singing it now.
Friends, you're aware there are two sides to each of us. Good and evil, compassion and hate.
But it's just the same as the 87 demo, so... Next, Love Has Come of Age. This one did not make the cut. Can you guess what it is? That's right. It's another Jekyll and Lisa duet. They love each other. What can I say? It's sweet enough. Very 90s.
But tonight,
Love has come of age.
I don't hate it, but I'm glad it was cut. There are better love songs. Possessed is back. And what is that? Let me hear you say it. A Lisa and Jekyll duet. Combe makes it sound like Jekyll is dying, though.
all my life I've been possessed by one great all-consuming quest.
But the lyrics are updated so that Lisa has more agency in this version instead of just coddling Jekyll. This is the moment. Now, this is more like the version I know. The lyrics are still a little different, but it's basically there. Combs putting a little stank on it. I can appreciate it. I can jam out. This is the first commercially released version of this song, and it actually got super popular before the musical even premiered, so that's pretty cool. Let's vibe.
The greatest moment of them all.
This version of Transformation has a little bit of the Board of Governors tacked on at the beginning, but it does go into the Transformation I know soon enough. Speedrunning it, actually, because before I know it, Combe is grunting and gasping like he's getting railed or something.
My God, what's this? Something has happened. I can't explain.
All the Transformation I've heard so far have been weirdly sexual. Can I just say that? And Combe sounds like he's getting, like he's maybe enjoying the process a little too much, if you get me. Then we follow up with an instrumental track called Seduction. I can only imagine what's happening there. But it has the music for what will later become the song Sympathy Tenderness. More on that later. For now, we're back with Someone Like You, Lucy's version, which will be the only version from here on out.
Now I see a world I've never seen before. Your love has opened every door.
Great song, one of my favorites. If you look this one up on YouTube, there's actually a little music video that goes with it. It's kind of spooky. Does anyone feel the same? I feel like the visuals don't match the song. Like, there should be screeching violins here instead.
Watched life go by.
Anyway, No one must ever know. It's adapting, it's changing, it's getting there. Let's keep an eye on it.
And I must gain control of this monster inside, the name of the people who died.
Till you came into my life. Holy shit. Where did that come from? Okay, we chill that again. Don't scare me like that. It's not fair. Once again, very 90s. It's a love song. Jekyll is singing to someone, but it's unclear who. I'm gonna guess Lisa, but who knows? Maybe in this version he actually confesses his love to Lucy. IDK, because this one did not make the cut, so we'll never know the intended context. It does sound a little like a Phil Collins song to me, though. Does anyone else hear it?
All my life, I've been building walls around me.
Anyway, not a big fan of this one. It goes pretty hard at the end, but not enough to save it, in my opinion. Good jump home, but I'll have to tell you to sashay away. Next, No One Knows Who I Am. We know this one. It's getting there. We'll talk more later. Retribution. Oh, a new contender. We don't know you, now do we? It's an instrumental, which I usually don't fucks with, but I fucks with this one. It's good. It's vibey. So now we've got this very strange rendition of Letting Go. It's sung by Jekyll and Lisa this time. The lyrics have completely changed. It's about like how they need to let go of each other. It was very whiplash hearing it for the first time, but you know what? I don't hate it. Very 90s, heavy on the very this time. I think this song might be made of pure liquid 90s. It's an interesting idea that Lisa and Jekyll might want to mutually break things off due to his issues, and I think it could have been a cool idea to explore in the show, but ultimately I can see why they didn't go that route. Cool song though. A New Life. It's getting there. It's really getting there. If I was playing Marco Polo with this song, it would be red hot, basically touching it. Thank you, Concha. Keep up the good work. We'll check back on it later. It's over now. It's still here. Still not the confrontation level, but we'll get there. You'll see.
A sorry tale of Edward Hyde, and those who died, no one must ever know.
The song We Still Have Time is still here for some reason.
It's never too late. As long as love survives.
Can we just kill this one already? I already know when it dies, and it's now. We never hear this song again after this. Next, the last song from this album is Colm Wilkinson's rendition of Once Upon a Dream.
Once upon a dream.
So if you really think about it, this whole album is just one big Once Upon a Dream sandwich. But yeah, if Linda Eder can't save this song for me, Colm Wilkinson sure as hell can't. Boring! We're done here. Look, I know there was a limited budget and they could only have Linda and Colm on this album, but I feel like we missed a lot of bangers. Like Alive wasn't on there. Facade wasn't on there. Murder wasn't on there. I honestly thought this album was the weakest so far. And more than half the people couldn't even sing in the first demo. 2 out of 10. Sorry, not sorry. So after that first concept album, they began production on a full stage show that later premiered in Houston in 1990. The show was only supposed to run for 4 weeks, but became so popular that it ran for 12. Frank says the only reason it didn't run longer was because the cast had prior commitments that they had to eventually leave the show to do. The cast for the original run included Chuck Wagner as Jekyll and Hyde, Rebecca Spencer as Lisa Carew, and Linda Eder as Lucy. Like I mentioned earlier, the book for the musical was written by both Steve Cooden and Frank, with later drafts having Leslie involved. And I don't have any hard evidence for this, but I suspect that they may have stolen the plot from the 1931 Universal Studios Jekyll and Hyde film. So why do I think this? Let's look at the similarities. Both stories are about a young, kind, handsome Dr. Jekyll who has a fiancée, a Miss Carew. Dr. Jekyll meets a sex worker / bar performer who falls in love with him, but he doesn't give in to her advances. For his own personal reasons, Dr. Jekyll begins experimenting with a potion that will separate good and evil, thus creating an evil alter ego for himself, Mr. Hyde. He then begins seeing the other woman and abusing her. When he's back as Dr. Jekyll, the woman comes to him for treatment for her wounds and continues to fall in love with him. But eventually, Hyde murders the woman. Hyde goes on a bit of a murder spree before he's eventually taken out by Jekyll's friend with a handgun. Now you might be thinking, well, yeah, no shit the plots are similar, they're both based on the same book. But that's not an excuse in this case, because while the plot of the musical and the movie are very similar, they are both very different from the plot of the book. Hello, Concha, can you please move? Get out of here, Stinky. I.e., Frank and Steve didn't adapt from the novella, they adapted from the movie. Allegedly. Now, to back up my theory a little bit more, Frank does mention in his interview that they had to do some rewriting after they ran into some copyright issues, and while he doesn't go into specifics, methinks the copyright claims may have been coming from a little Universal Studios. But conspiracy theories aside, Jekyll and Hyde did undergo rewrites, and Frank went to Doug Morris, the president of Atlantic Records, wanting to create a second concept album. Morris agreed under the condition that Wild Horde negotiate to give him the Broadway rights instead of BMG Studios. Frank managed to get this done, and after 74 days of non-stop studio recording, the second official concept album and most beloved version by myself and the majority of Jekyll Hyde fans was released in 1994. Jekyll and Hyde, the gothic musical thriller, The Complete Work. Yes, that's the full title. Linda Eder is still here as Lucy. We've got the amazingly talented Carolee Carmello as Lisa, and one of the greatest singers and performers of all time, described as a god by Frank Wildhorn himself, my main man, Anthony Warlow, as Jekyll and Hyde. I don't know why I did that, they're all still alive. The first track is Prologue, lusciously narrated by Anthony. It's just him citing his philosophy over a backing track, but Anthony is such a talent. Ugh. He could read me the obituaries and I'd still love it.
If this primitive duality of man, good and evil, can be housed in separate identities, life will be relieved of all that is unbearable. It is the curse of mankind that these polar twins should be constantly struggling.
From there, our opening number is I Need to Know. Oh my god, this song is so good! Anthony sings his fucking heart out, man.
I need to go where no man has ventured before, to search for the key to the door that will end all this tragic and senseless decay. But how to go? I need to know.
I'll never understand why this song didn't make the final cut. It's so good. It sets up his character perfectly. He's all about the pursuit of knowledge at any cost. It sets up his motivations, his tendency for hubris, and it's all done subtly, unlike the fucking Ballad of Sweeney Todd. I mean, the Ballad of Jekyll and Hyde. But it's great. It's just boom. We know who this character is. We know his values. We know his flaws. Let's set up the rest of the themes of the show. And that's when we transition flawlessly into Facade, sung by all the townspeople about how fake the rich upper class bitches are. And the lyrics have been further refined, so they're tight, they're quick-witted, they're funny.
That's how their little game is played. Living out their masquerade. Getting rich and getting laid. Who'd want to trade?
And once again, it flows perfectly into the next song. Bitch, bitch, bitch. Oh, bitch, 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 my beloved. This one, sadly, didn't make the cut. I can understand why, but I just don't think the show is the same without it. Like, you have all the townspeople talking about how two-faced all the rich people are, and then to have this song right after it just solidifies it being the case, you know? It's not just a rumor or anything. Also, as a gay person, I just really enjoy how catty it is. And one of the characters who sings it, Lord Savage, is so hilariously gay-coded. Like, how could you not love it?
What a pretty smile, Mrs. Grenville Heath. Pity they are not all her teeth.
Lord De Vere as well, he's as queer as hell, and bisexual, likes to switch.
Delicious and so vicious, how one wishes to bitch, bitch, bitch.
But now we have the engagement party, and this one has been practically the same since the first demo, at least in utility, but there are some changes to the song that I really like. For one, Stride is there and is just blatantly shit-talking Jekyll, like, to his future father-in-law, Sir Danvers. Like, how messy is that?
Dear Sir Danvers, as you know, sir, I wish Lisa the sun and the moon, but I have to confess that I wish Henry Jekyll in hell.
And then when Jekyll shows up and Utterson is like, bro, where were you at? And Jekyll like maniacally tells him his plans are all coming together. And then in a much more subtle way, we're told that Jekyll bagged a hottie like Lisa totally unexpectedly. And then my favorite fucking change is that Stride comes up and very passive-aggressively says that he wishes both Jekyll and Lisa happiness. And in the first demo, Jekyll, he seems like oblivious to the hostility, but in this version, Jekyll clocks that shit and gives him a shady fucking response right the hell back.
Dr. Jekyll, may I be the first to wish you and your bride to be peace and prosperity.
Mr. Stride, it's most civil of you to say that as you do with such patent sincerity.
You eat him up, Jekyll. You don't take no shit. But from there, we've got Lisa and Jekyll's first obligatory love song, Possessed. This one is basically the same as the last time we've heard it. You know, it's just Lisa being like, listen up, you crazy bitch. I love you, but I've got my own dreams for the future. So are you on board with those or what? Which establishes her as a strong character who takes no shit from no one, not even her lover.
Henry, I adore you, always have done, always will do, but I too have dreams.
And it's once again a perfect setup for the next song, Take Me As I Am. You know, they both got their flaws, they got their drawbacks, but they are ride or die for each other. I freaking love this song so much.
No fate won't always do what we desire. Still we can set the world on fire.
It just really is like my top love songs of all time. And happy news, it did make the final cut, but there are some things about it that I'll be discussing later. But for now, beautiful song. I could listen to Anthony and Carol Lee harmonize forever. But now it's time for Lisa to sing a song with Simon, Lisa Carew. Like I mentioned earlier, this one does make the cut, but it's renamed to Emma's Reasons when Lisa's name is eventually changed to Emma for reasons. But it's basically the same. Simon is like, we were in love once. Why did you choose him over me. And Lisa's like, bitch, you only loved me because I was a young bitch with a moldable mind. I'm not like that anymore. I'm my own woman now. I've got my own opinions. So fuck off. I love Henry. And he's like, you'll regret this. Foreshadowing.
Someday you'll regret what you just said to me, Lisa.
We'll see, sir.
But now it's time for my main bitch, the Board of Governors, or as I like to call it, 9 minutes of pure ecstasy. So these are the board members of the hospital Jekyll works at, and he's asking them for permission to perform human testing for his new treatment that can cure insanity by deleting evil. It doesn't make sense, but he's a Victorian scientist. Nothing makes sense. The board members are Lady Beaconsfield and Lord Savage, the two divas who sang bitch, bitch, bitch. There's also the Bishop of Basingstoke, General Lord Glossop, and Sir Archibald Proops. The chairman of the hospital is also in attendance, Sir Danvers Carew. And so is the secretary to the Board of Governors, Simon Stride. So Jekyll does his pitch, and the whole time the board is fucking yelling at him about his past failures and how this new idea is shit. And what I love most about this song is like how conflicted you feel, because you want to be on Jekyll's side because these people suck so bad, but they're making really good counter arguments, and Jekyll's idea is shit, let's face it. But I love that at some point Jekyll just starts yelling back at them and like throwing massive shade to Stride, and it just all delves into a screaming match.
Just give me the opportunity.
This whole thing's too bizarre!
Open up your eyes and see. This man has gone too far. Unless you listen to me.
What's your tune? Damn it, man! Can't you see? You're on your own!
Fools, you fools! God damn you! Look at yourself, civilized.
But in the end, they all vote against him, with Sir Danvers abstaining from the vote because he's like, geez, I feel bad. Ooh, and then Stride comes in, rubbing salt in the wound and bringing up how Lisa should be his girl. But we got no time to mourn because Jekyll's got to go to his bachelor party. And where else do his friends take him other than a G-dang brothel, where Lucy is performing her introductory number, Bring on the Men.
We say bring on the men and let the fun begin. A little touch of sin, why wait another minute? Step this way, it's time for us to play. They say we may not pass this way again, so let's waste no more time, bring on the men.
This song is so good. It's such a bop. And I think it's a great introduction to her character and her situation, because this song is all sensual and shit and talks about how much she likes getting it on with a bunch of men. But we later find out she actually doesn't like this. Shocker, I know. But I think it's a great example of the duality of her character. And there's a lot more depth to her than we initially see. And it's a bop, but unfortunately, this one did not make it to Broadway in favor of the stupid song Good and Evil, which makes no sense for Lucy to sing, but we've already been over this, so I digress. Also, Frank must have realized his mistake somewhere along the way, because while Bring on the Men wasn't in the original Broadway run, it did come back for later official productions. But after Lucy is done with her song, it leads directly into the next song, Lucy Meets Jekyll. I'm sure you can infer what it's about. But you know, she's putting on this whole sensual act, trying to sell herself to Jekyll. He's not into it, but she can sense this isn't really who she is, and offers her his business card so that if she ever needs a friend, just a friend, she can come visit him. And Lucy basically falls in love with him right then and there, because gasp! A man who doesn't see her as a piece of fuckable meat? Unthinkable.
If any time you never know, you need a friend.
after his shitty bachelor party doesn't cheer him up, we get the song How Can I Continue On, where Jekyll complains to Utterson about the board rejecting him some more, and Utterson's like, "Don't give up, King. You got this." And Jekyll is like, "You know what, bitch? I do got this. Just watch me got this."
When this all began, I knew there'd be a prize.
And he sings the song, This Is the Moment. And this song is the moment because it's so good. I love this song. But I will say, someone pointed out to me recently that this song is pretty generic. Like, you don't need the context to understand it. In fact, you could put the song in any context and it would still work because it's a pretty standard believe in yourself song. And unfortunately, I do have to agree, but I still like it. It's a great song.
When I look back, I will always recall, moment for moment, this was the moment, the greatest moment of them
So after his little pep talk, we get the song Transformation. This version is longer than the previous iterations. It's got a slower and more sinister build up to the inevitable transformation. And I usually hate it when things are dragged out, but I think it works here. Also, Anthony just really sells it. His screams of agony as he transforms are mwah, perfection.
Something inside me, a breathtaking pain, devours and consumes me and drives me insane.
So now that Jekyll has become Hyde, he goes back to Lucy and introduces himself as Edward Hyde. And I love the hesitation Anthony does before giving his name because it's just him like making it up on the spot. He's like, "Oh shit, I don't have a name yet, do I?"
So what's your name then, sweetheart?
Hyde. Edward Hyde.
I also love Lucy's performance in this song. She's also giving like this kind of hesitant version of her usual pitch because she's like, "Oh, this guy's kind of weird." This is also the song that contains the tagline for the concept album, Why Should You Settle for Less When There's More? God, how I wish Frank had stuck to that idea. Oh yeah, and this song did not make the final Broadway cut. And now it's time for Alive. So this is a concept album, so there's no production or script that actually goes along with this, but in all productions I've seen, it actually gets split into two songs, the initial one and then a reprise later after he actually kills someone. But in this version, it's just all one big song. And the implication of what's happening is that he's like stalking and attacking Lucy during it. Bad context, but it really sucks because the song is such a bop. It goes hard. And Anthony does such a good job of changing his voice. He really does sound like a whole different person. I was actually gagged when I first found out it was the same man playing both characters. They sound so different.
What a feeling to be so alive! I have never seen me so alive! Such a feeling of evil inside! That's the feeling of being Edward Hyde with this feeling of being alive! There's a new world I see come alive! It's a truth that cannot be denied! There's no feeling like being Edward Hyde!
So after his little jaunty night of assault and battery, Hyde becomes Jekyll again, and Jekyll writes in his diary about his experiences being Hyde over the next 11 days in the song Streak of Madness. This song is an inner glimpse into how he feels about it, not good, and how he needs to win this fight with Hyde before he completely takes over.
What evil force makes Edward Hyde of me? What darker side of me does this reveal?
This song doesn't make the final cut, and I can understand why for a few reasons, but I do wish that at least a couple of the Jekyll introspection songs did make the cut, because it lets us know how Jekyll is feeling about all this instead of us just having to guess or make shit up in our heads. So after Jekyll has been holed up in his lab for a little while, at least 11 days, remember that, Lisa, Utterson, and Sir Danvers are all getting really worried about him, and they sing his work and nothing more.
You have your work and nothing more. You are possessed. What is your demon? You've never been this way before. You've lost the fire you built your dream on.
This song does make the cut, and for the most part the lyrics are unchanged, but the harmonies keep changing to worse ones. So after this song, Lucy shows up at Jekyll's place, and even though he's been sending everyone else away who visits, he lets Lucy come in. And she sings the song Sympathy Tenderness, about how he's the first man who's ever been kind to her.
I'm in love with the things that I see in his face.
This leads directly into the next song, Someone Like You, which is now only a Lucy song. But there's a new and very important difference in the lyrics that has happened. Before, they were, 'cause someone like you loves me, and now they're,
If someone like you loved me.
This to me implies that in earlier drafts of the play, Jekyll maybe reciprocated her feelings, but now this is just a fantasy that she has and it isn't true. This is also important information to hold on to for later. But I do love this change. Not only do I like the story better if Jekyll isn't in love with her, I think it adds more tragedy and sympathy for her character, you know? It kind of makes you really root for her. But now we're changing gears with the song Mass. This one did not make the cut, and it's obvious why. This is just like people singing at Mass. Depending on how we're looking at it, it doesn't really add anything to the story, move the plot forward, or particularly provide entertainment. The only 3 reasons you would have a song in a musical. That being said, I do think the song is pretty, and I think it could still work in the story with a script rewrite. But enough about boring songs, let's talk about Murder, Murder. Such a banger, such a bop. They changed the lyrics and some of the melody for Broadway. It was a bad choice in my opinion, but what's one more to the tally? This version is peak. The lyrics, the urgency, the music, the performances of the ensemble, oh my god.
Murder, what's this one done? Murder, can be undone. Murder, it's in London. Bloody murder in the night.
I also love how each of the murders isn't accompanied by corny dialogue. More on that later. I know it's probably because dialogue is usually cut from cast recordings of musicals, but I think having just the instrumental works so much better. Okay, so now after that banger, we've got to completely ruin the mood with Letting Go. I think I've already let you know how I feel about this song in the demo versions. It's fine, but it's boring. Honestly, this is one of the songs that should have been cut instead, in my humble opinion. Moving on, we got Reflections, another Jekyll introspection song. This song is almost entirely comprised of direct quotes from the novel, which I think is really cool, but I don't think necessarily works for this version of the story. So it makes sense it didn't make it to the final cut. However, I do want to highlight the first line of the song, which is,
My two natures have memory in common.
This is another little nugget I want you to hang on to. Trust me, it's gonna come up later. Next is In His Eyes, a duet with Lisa and Lucy about how much each of them loves Jekyll so much.
That he can't conceal from me the love in his eyes. They're like an open book. His eyes. I know their every look. His eyes. And most of all, the look that hypnotized me.
I have to be in a really sappy mood to enjoy this song. Otherwise, I'm like, okay, ladies, wrap it up. I think this song could work really well with a good lead in, but as it stands in the lineup of songs right now, I think it's a little misplaced, and that does affect how good I think it is story-wise. But now we've got to pick up the tempo again with the absolute batshittery of the song, The World Has Gone Insane.
The world has gone insane, and parasites are eating at my brain, and nothing is the way it was before. A pack of wolves is howling at my door.
I can understand why this song was cut, but I really wish they could have fit it in there somewhere because it's wild, but it's so fun. This is technically another Jekyll introspection song, but it's so different from the others because it's basically him having like a mentee bee and like hallucinating from guilt over killing all these people. And honestly, I think it would make for a nice entertainment break in this musical filled with slower ballads. But it's very steampunk and psychedelic sounding. It's so different from all the other songs. It's great. The only part I don't really like is like the distorted vocals at the end, but that's honestly a nitpick. It's camp. I love it. I wish it made it to the final cut, even if it's impractical. The next song after this is Girls of the Night. This one sadly didn't make it to Broadway. I say sadly because it adds a lot more depth to Lucy's character that I think is severely lacking in the Broadway show. This one beautifully juxtaposes Bring on the Men and tells us Lucy's real thoughts about her life, how she dreams of getting out of this hell and having a future for herself. It also doesn't mention romance at all, or at least it doesn't until later versions of the song that I have major beef with. So in this concept album, Lucy sings,
Nighttime is where we live, night is when we give everything we have to give. Most lovers can rejoice, we don't have a choice, we just know we have to give.
But in later versions, it's changed to, I want to live for only him. Ick. Blech. Is Frank Wildhorn allergic to giving women agency outside of pursuing a man? Anyway, this version of the song is great. It should have been on Broadway. The next song is No One Knows Who I Am, which builds on the previous song and continues to show us how hopeless and alone Lucy feels. Honestly, this song, and at this point in the musical, feels like Lucy's lowest point to me. She's effectively giving up on her dreams, maybe even her whole life. It's heartbreaking and it's really effective. Unfortunately, like I mentioned earlier, while the song does make it to Broadway, they move it up to be her introductory song, and it just doesn't work at all. It really ruins the whole thing. Also, the way the song ends, I think, is really important. After Lucy finishes singing the song, we hear Hyde say,
I know who you are, my dear.
but his voice is so soft in this moment that he almost sounds like Jekyll. And Lucy responds,
For a moment I thought it was someone else.
and Hyde says,
For a moment, it almost was.
This is such a great moment to me that speaks a million words without explicitly singing it. To me, this interaction implies that by listening to Lucy's song, No One Knows Who I Am, Hyde actually feels sympathy for her, for anybody, for the first time. And this feeling of sympathy is so powerful that it almost makes him transform back into Jekyll. Hyde is only just able to hold on and keep control. And this reading is directly responsible for how I interpret Lucy and Hyde's relationship. The next song, It's a Dangerous Game, is a duet between Lucy and Hyde about the follies of how they feel about one another. For Lucy, she's scared of Hyde. She hates him, but she still feels inexplicably drawn to him, probably because, in a way she can't understand, he reminds her of Jekyll. And while I've never seen this interpretation done before in any production, I think Hyde is also afraid of Lucy because of how she makes him feel.
At the touch of your hand, at the sound of your voice, at the moment your eyes meet mine, I am out of my mind, I am out of control, full of feelings I can't define.
Like I mentioned earlier, I think Hyde is starting to feel sympathy for Lucy. Maybe he's even falling in love with her. And these feelings scare him because he's not supposed to feel them. He's supposed to be the embodiment of evil. If he isn't that anymore, then he's nothing. He'll cease to exist. Jekyll will win. And obviously, he doesn't want that, but he can't seem to pull himself away from Lucy. It's a dangerous game for her because this relationship isn't healthy and could cost her her life. And it's a dangerous game for Hyde because of the same reasons. And I think Hyde ultimately kills her, not because he's just evil, but because he knows if he doesn't, she'll make him more like Jekyll and he'll disappear. He has to kill her before she kills him. IDK, maybe I'm Delulu and reading far too much into this, but I think this would be an intriguing avenue to explore. So now we're back with Jekyll, and he's singing the song No One Must Ever Know, another introspection song where he's like crashing out about how guilty he feels over all the horrible things Hyde has made him do. But ultimately, it turns into just another pep talk about how he can't give up now because if he does, not only will Hyde take over and continue to do all these horrible things, but he won't be able to fulfill his original altruistic goal of helping people.
Somehow I have to get back to the place where my journey started, find the course I charted when I first departed.
A version of this song does make the cut, but I feel like it's been neutered compared to this version. I really, really love this song. I think it does a great job of conveying how Jekyll feels in this moment and why he's choosing to continue on instead of just cutting his losses, if you know what I mean. So now Lucy is singing her song about starting a new life for herself called A New Life. This song might be a little long-winded, but I really love it. And it's nice to see Lucy feeling up again after she's been down for so long. Unfortunately, she is murdered by Hyde after this song, so that's a bummer. But it was nice while it lasted, right? So right after this is Jekyll's version of Once Upon a Dream. This doesn't make the cut, but I wish it did for a few reasons. Number one is because it happens right after he kills Lucy, so I always imagined him singing this song directly because of how remorseful he feels for his actions. Two, because he sings this right after killing Lucy, it implies he felt so much remorse for his actions, even as Hyde, that he transformed back into Jekyll, reinforcing my little Delulu theory that Hyde killed Lucy because she was making him feel like he was turning into a good person. Number three is because this song tells us that Jekyll is basically giving up now. Like, Lucy's death is too much for him, the cost is no longer worth the gain. Now it's time to cut his losses.
Too late now to wonder why it can never be.
Which leads perfectly into the next song, Confrontation. I love this version of the song. It makes the cut, but the vibe of it changes so much in the Broadway version, it may as well have been cut. The only thing I don't really like about this song in concept is the plot holes it causes, but that's not really a fault of the song, but of the script, which I'll talk about more later. But yeah, this song is a duet you sing with yourself. It's really hard not to make this song look ridiculous, but Anthony and other performers have pulled it off, so mad props to them.
All that you are is a face in the mirror. I close my eyes and you disappear. I'm what you face when you face in the mirror. Long as you live, I will still be here.
It's a major banger. It's a great semifinale. I just wish the bad script didn't undercut it. The final song in this album is The Wedding Reception. This song doesn't technically make the cut, but the concept of it is still present in the Broadway show. So Jekyll and Lisa are married now, yay! But during their first dance, he starts feeling himself transform again, and he eventually does become Hyde in front of all of his wedding guests and Lisa. Stride, who's there for some reason, calls him a monster, and Hyde calls him out for owning whorehouses, but Hyde does go on to threaten Lisa, and Utterson pulls out his Glock, which is implied to have been given to him by Jekyll in case of this very scenario. Utterson shoots Hyde a few times and he turns back into Jekyll, who begs Utterson to kill him. At first he says he can't, but he eventually does, unloading the cylinder on Jekyll and killing him. What I love about this version is it's camp to high hell. But also, everyone is putting their whole pussies into acting it out. I especially love Lisa's performance because almost every other edition I've seen, Lisa/Emma is weirdly calm when all this is going down. But in this version, she's screaming, she's crying, actually acting like her new husband has just gone insane and is being murdered right in front of her. As is evident, I have a lot of feelings about this concept album, but I think for reasons that will become clear later, I will hold off on my full thoughts for now. But just know, I'm basically going to be comparing every version of the show from here on out to this version. So prepare yourself. And by the way, 10 out of 10. But if I'm going to be critical, 9 out of 10. After rewrites, Jekyll and Hyde would finally return to the stage in 1995 in Houston. The show would then travel to Seattle, and then to Dallas, where it began its national tour, traveling all over the US before ending its run in Maryland in 1996. This cast included Robert Cuccioli as Jekyll and Hyde, Christine Knoll as Lisa, and Linda as Lucy. So what did I like? What did I not like? First is the writing. It's horrible and often makes no sense. The character motivations and themes are muddled. The dialogue is corny as hell. Next is the staging. For the most part, it was very bad. Boring to look at, very limited lighting and movement, and I'm aware that not every musical is a dance-oriented show. Like, look at Phantom and Sweeney, for example. Those aren't dance-heavy shows, but they're able to keep your attention because the stories are good, the pacing is steady, and they're still visually dynamic with lighting, staging, and blocking. This show failed in all of those categories. But as much as I've ragged on this one, I did really enjoy it. I thought the cast did a great job with what they were given, and it was my favorite out of all the productions I've watched. Which means we only go down from here. Solid 6 out of 10. The national tour and the previous concept album were so successful that they completely funded the first Broadway production only halfway through the tour. Jekyll and Hyde opened on Broadway in 1997 at the Plymouth Theater. The cast from the national tour reprised their roles, with some performances having Rob Evan cast as Hyde before deciding that Jekyll and Hyde should go back to being played by one actor. But you can still find some productions today that cast two separate actors for the roles. The original Broadway run lasted for 4 years from 1997 to 2001, and of course it would, right? Just look at the success of the demos, the concept albums, the original and national tour runs. Everyone loved it. Or did they? Because you see, despite all its success, something happened along the way to the national tour to Broadway. A big, stinky something. Now, I don't have all the details. I've searched and searched for an answer, but all I can really find is that there were rewrites to both the music and the book before it hit Broadway. And I'll never know why these changes were made, but they were made, and they were bad. Even though it had a really long run, critics seemed to universally hate this musical, giving it no better than mid-reviews at best and scathing reviews at worst. And I don't blame them. I've seen the official Broadway show. It sucks! The original Broadway cast recording was released the same year as its debut in 1997, and it sucks too. It's unlistenable. It's awful. Jumping from the complete work to the official cast recording is like watching Wicked on Broadway and then immediately watching an elementary school production of it right after. And I want to preface this by saying, in no way do I think any of the performers in this version are bad singers. I don't think they measure up to the complete work version, but they are far from bad. They're great. It's just the new compositions and the new songs sound like shit. So let's talk about that. The first track on the original Broadway cast recording is Prologue, but unlike Prologue from the concept album, it's entirely instrumental with no voiceover. This would be fine if it weren't for the fact that it starts playing the motif of my most hated song, Lost in the Darkness. I don't know what happened, but Robert has never sounded this bad. Like, listen to this note and tell me that sounds good.
Back into the light.
Like, what is that? It's so flat. And once again, this isn't me saying that Robert is a bad singer. The note is flat because Frank wrote it to sound that way, and it sounds like shit. Not to mention, this song is boring as hell. It's an awful way to open a musical. Your opening number either needs to be hype as fuck, foreshadow the story to come, or preferably both. This song does neither. The only saving grace of this song is the leitmotif at the end. It's a good one. Moving on, we have Facade. We know this one, we're familiar with this one, and it has never sounded worse. Within the first few seconds of listening to this, I wanted to die. Let's listen to how the complete work one sounded. Okay, now the Broadway cast recording. What the fuck was that? I'm sorry. I thought this was Broadway, not MIDI editor. Not to mention the lyrics.
There's a face that we wear in the cold light of day.
It's society's mask, it's society's way.
And the truth is that it's all a facade.
Frank made them somehow even less subtle than they were before. It's honestly insulting how stupid he assumes the audience to be. And yes, I am blaming Frank for this and not Leslie, even though Leslie is a lyricist, because we know that Leslie can write good lyrics, as evidenced by the concept album. So my conspiracy theory is that Frank must have forced Leslie to make these changes because he does not believe in subtext. Everything must be text. There's also this horrible change where Frank has added in stilted singing, so one part of the ensemble is singing the same lyrics but like 2 seconds behind the other half of the ensemble. And it's an auditory nightmare. And not even in the intentional way, like a dissonant note. It just sounds bad. The only good thing about this song is that the singers are very good, at least whenever they aren't forced to do a horrible harmony. Pursue the Truth, which is just a reskinned How Can I Continue On.
How can I pursue the truth when they can block each step I take?
In me you have come too far, remember what you have at stake.
And I hate to keep saying this so often, but it really does sound like shit. Like, what was that? What was that? And I know I said that no one on this album is a bad singer, and I still stand by that, but why the fuck does Utterson sound like this?
If you know that you are right, then you've got to see it through. You've got to see it through.
Chill out on the vibrato, dude. Like, who do you think you are? Hugh Jackman? Next is our first Facade reprise. I don't have anything to say about this one that I haven't said already. It's boring, it's useless, it goes on for too long. Next track. Emma's Reasons, which I've already mentioned is just a reskinned Lisa Carew. So we finally reached the version where Lisa's name has been officially changed to Emma and will remain Emma from now on. So that is what I will start calling her as well. This one is pretty similar to Lisa Carew, so I don't have too many thoughts on it. It's fine. I just wish they kept the Emma crashing out at stride at the end. But like I've said, Emma isn't allowed to have a personality anymore.
Henry's eyes, I see what I am meant to be.
We get another reskin song with I Must Go On, which is just the song Possessed for the most part. It has one big glaring change that makes me fucking hate it, and it's just one line change. A line change I've already mentioned.
And your dreams are mine.
Gross. I hate it. Bad song. Next track. Take Me As I Am is unchanged, save for a few harmony differences.
Take me as I am.
Honestly, no notes. I liked it. I especially liked the softer way the song ended. It was sweet. First thumbs up for the album. But now it's time for Letting Go. Oh boy, I already didn't like this one from the concept album. Let's see how it fares.
Emma, don't you understand? It's you I am concerned for.
Father, don't be. You should be concerned for him. He's the one in need.
I am only trying to protect you.
Okay, so it starts with Emma already glazing hard for Jekyll, and I already hate this version more. I also don't like the new lyrics. It's just, once again, very explainy and unsubtle. Frank thinks I'm an idiot. If anything, this song could be cut entirely, but at least it's short. Oh god, it's another Facade with even more bad, useless lyrics. Goes on for way too long despite being only 1 minute. No redeeming qualities. Next. No One Knows Who I Am. Once again, I have already touched on what I don't like about this version. The song itself is fine. It's pretty much identical to the concept album version, but it just doesn't work this early in the show. It needs to be moved back to its original spot. Linda does a great job as always. It's fine. Just fix the position. Fuck. Good and evil. Okay. This version also starts with weirdly oriental sounding music. Like, what the fuck is that, Frank? What are you trying to do? I can only assume you're being racist by tying vaguely East Asian sounding music to the idea of hypersexuality, which is fucked up, but please correct me if I'm wrong. Nothing to say? Wow. But yeah, Linda eats as always, but this song is just not working with Lucy singing it. It makes no fucking sense.
And try to be
Bring Stride back to sing this song. Same outfit too. Let him diva out. So in this album, Transformation has been split into 2 songs, with the first being this track, Now There Is No Choice, which is just the first 40 seconds of Transformation.
Now there is no choice. I must put aside the fears I feel inside.
Looking at the track list, it looks like this was done to introduce the idea of him doing the experiment on himself. Then he sings This Is the Moment. Then he continues with the rest of the transformation. I can understand why this was done, but I don't think it works super well, just because it really does feel like you're starting one song, putting it on pause to sing a completely different song, only to resume that first song once you're done belting your heart out. It just feels very clunky. But speaking of This Is the Moment, let's talk about this rendition.
The greatest moment of them all.
It's identical to the concept album, but it just doesn't hit as much. Like, Robert sounds great, but when you compare it to Anthony, I mean, it's no contest. Sorry, Robert, you're fantastic, but it's hard to compete with a literal god. So now we've gotten to Transformation, which is called First Transformation in this album, which makes sense in terms of it being the first time Jekyll changes into Hyde, but at the same time, it's a bit of a useless renaming because there really isn't a need to identify this as the first transformation when there are no other tracks called Transformation. You get what I mean? It's just another useless change. And speaking of changes, let's talk about some of the changes I hated. So this first one may have been an acting choice made by Robert, but I'm just gonna go ahead and assume it's actually Frank's fault and blame him. So for the line, "no visible behavioral differences," Anthony says it like this.
No noticeable behavioral differences.
And Robert says it like this.
No noticeable behavioral differences.
And it's just a little too goofy for me. Like, I love camp, but that was goofy. That was corny. Did not like it. Another thing I did not like is the music, and it's just not going as hard as it needs to. It's once again giving MIDI file. It's not hitting.
Something inside me, a breathtaking pain, devours, consumes me, and drives me insane.
Third, and not to harp on Robert's acting, but I just did not vibe with it. It's just so hard, you know? Like, when you're so used to Anthony screaming his lungs out and putting his whole Australian pussy into his performance, every other rendition just sounds so tired. I'm sorry, Robert. You did great, but not as great as Anthony. And lastly, I don't know if I'm crazy or not, but it sounds like they put a voice filter on Hyde. Like, something about it sounds unnatural, right? Like, I'm not crazy. This sounds insane, doesn't it?
Suddenly, look at me. Can it be? Who is this creature that I see? Free.
Whatever it is, I don't like it. Not for me. Let's see how Alive sounds. He hasn't even started singing yet. What the fuck is this?
This feeling of power and drive I've never known. I feel alive.
I need a moment. Is this what sounded good to you, Frank? Did you think this is what went hard, Frank? I feel insane right now.
It's the feeling of being alive. Filled with evil but truly alive. It's the truth that cannot be denied.
What the fuck is this? He sounds like a rabid pirate. I'm sorry, Robert. Did Frank make you do this? You sound insane. And what is that tempo? What the fuck is happening?
It's the feeling of being in one mind.
I don't want to be melodramatic, but I think that might have been the worst thing I've ever heard. Next track is Your Work and Nothing More. I'm sure you can guess what this is a reskin of. I'm sorry, I'm distracted. I'm not sure how to move on from the version of Alive I just heard. I think I need therapy. Utterson has too much vibrato. Some lyric changes, different harmonies. I'm sorry, guys. I'm gonna be fucked up for a while. Anyway, the last harmony was fucking grating. Bad change. Sympathy, tenderness, and Someone Like You are exactly the same. You already heard my thoughts. Let's just move on to, oh god, not the Alive reprise.
With Satan himself by my side, and I'll show the world that tonight and forever, the name to remember, the name Edward Hyde.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to call back my therapist and up my appointments to 2 times a week. Surely Murder can fix this.
That you are relieved of your duties, sir. All of them. Look at this
another murder, just like that other murder. That poor old General Glossop, dead.
Can I not have anything? Can I not have one nice thing? Put the fucking MIDI editor away, Frank! Once again, at least the ensemble is eating in this song, but Hyde's one-liners are fucking shit. The new lyrics are shit. The new composition is shit. They don't even end the song with the whispered murder, and that's shit. We still have so many songs to go, and I'm already so tired. I'm so tired. Once Upon a Dream. I never really liked this one to begin with. Still don't.
What is the truth my fears conceal?
Obsession is just a reskinned, abridged version of Streak of Madness. I think it works fine, and I don't know what it is, but I think Robert's losing me a little. Like, something about the way he performed alive is affecting how I view him. I don't know if it's just this song, but I'm starting to not like the way his voice sounds. I've been infected. I don't know if I can recover. I don't know if I'm strong enough to push through. But I must. We've got In His Eyes as our next track, and I think this album might actually be affecting my brain chemistry because I thought for sure as I was listening to this song, it kept getting slower. So I looked up how long the concept album version was to compare the time, and the concept album version is actually longer. I need to move on. It's a dangerous game. Has some lyric changes and a similar but different vibe. I don't know how to describe it. It's like both more and less sensual and more and less sinister than the concept album. But at the same time, it feels the same. And it's also so hard to tell how anyone feels when they're singing it. And Robert's completely lost me now. I thought he sounded horrible in this song.
A darker dream that has no ending, that's so unreal. You believe that it's true. A dance of death out of a mystery tale. The frightened princess doesn't know what to do.
I've got to keep going. What do we have next?
If you live around here, lots of people I fear.
No, for the love of God, no. I can't handle this song right now. My psyche cannot take another fucking facade reprise. I'm so fragile. What is the point? And the whispering? Are you trying to make me have a mental breakdown? Please let me return to some semblance of normalcy. What's the next song? Oh, it's The Way Back. Finally, just a regular shitty song. Once again, very MIDI file sounding. It's just an abridged version of No One Must Ever Know, and some questionable choices from Frank. I'm still not sure what happened, but he didn't sound this bad during the national tour.
Somehow I have to hang on to the vision that first inspired me, to the hope that fired me when the world admired me.
Was it Frank? I'm just gonna go ahead and blame Frank. A New Life. Okay, we're getting back on track now, and this one is definitely slower than the concept album this time. This isn't just me going crazy.
A new life.
And that being said, it's pretty 1-to-1. I don't really have anything else to say about this one other than Linda's voice sounds a little more shaky in this version.
Just to play the game and to pursue.
It's strange. It's like being exposed to Frank Wildhorn for too long makes you lose talent or something. Okay, we're getting in the home stretch now. Confrontation. How does this one sound?
Lost in the darkness.
Oh, I forgot it. Starts with this dumbass reprise of the worst song ever, but maybe the rest of the song.
All that you are is a face in the mirror. I close my eyes and you disappear.
I'm what you face when you face in the mirror. Long as you live, I will still be here.
I thought this one might break the rest of my resolve, but really, I'm just bored. I'm underwhelmed. I'm rolling my eyes. I'm cringing. What the fuck was that? At least this shit is almost over. Okay, this is the final facade reprise on this album, so I'm going to go into detail about what specifically I hate so much about these songs. The lyrics are a classic example of telling and not showing. These songs literally tell us everything we end up learning later anyway through organic storytelling. They are literally the definition of useless. And I'm coming back to this point because I'm going to call Frank out again for trying to copy Sweeney Todd. These facade reprises are clearly trying to be the Ballad of Sweeney Todd, but Frank, you're really pissing me off now because you're trying to evoke the ballad without actually knowing what makes the ballad work. You listened to that song and you thought to yourself, oh, this is a song about giving a summary of the show before it happens. But you're a fucking idiot, Frank, because that's not what the song was doing at all. In fact, a lot of the things they say happen in the song, we never actually see. That song is about setting up the legend of Sweeney, about setting up the themes and the setting, and then we come to learn through the rest of the musical what the real story was. You are so stupid that you dumbed down Leslie's original and much better lyrics to try to copy a composer who you will never even have the mental capacity to understand what made him so great. Fuck off, Frank. You aren't Sondheim. You will never be Sondheim, and the fact that you thought for even a second that you could be Sondheim is the most insulting thing I have ever seen done to that man's legacy, and I've seen Into the Woods with James fucking Corden. I'm sorry. I don't know what came over me. I just heard so many shitty reprises of the same shitty song I saw red and blacked out for a second. What did I say? Oh, look, the finale. So no big final death scene for Jekyll this time. Instead, the finale is Emma singing to Jekyll to just die already and put us all out of our misery. And thankfully, it's now over.
You are free now.
So I think you can summarize my thoughts on this album pretty well for yourself, but I will say I was pleasantly surprised that there were certain parts of this album I didn't hate. Like, don't get me wrong, I fucking hate this album, but there was a harmony here and there I enjoyed. The ensemble ate, so it wasn't all bad. Would I ever willingly listen to this album again? Hell no, 1 out of 10. The official musical was literally so bad, I found this article titled "The Broadway Composer Critics Love to Hate" about Frank Wildhorn. And I've heard it told that Anthony Warlow actually wanted to come back to play Jekyll and Hyde on Broadway, but after he saw the changes Frank made to the script, he decided to opt out. And ladies, gaties, and ladies, it only gets worse from there. During its 4-year run, many actors played Jekyll and Hyde, starting off with Robert Cuccioli, and then Rob Evan took over for both roles, then Jack Wagner, then Sebastian Bach, and finally the performance that caused the show to close, allegedly, David Hasselhoff. If you're a friend of the channel, you know my beef with David runs deep, and it runs real deep because the only official Broadway pro shot of Jekyll and Hyde ever recorded was in the year of my birth, 2000, with David fucking Hasselhoff playing Jekyll and Hyde. So let's talk about it. Okay, shit, so where to start? So Lucy is finally played by someone other than Lita Eder. This time she's played by Colleen Sexton, and Emma is played by Andrea Rivette. This production was recorded in Plymouth Theater, and I'll just say they did the best they could. Let's watch it. There is a whole element of unintentional camp that I really enjoy about Jekyll and Hyde, but Hasselhoff's performance is so bad, It goes beyond camp. It's just bad. It makes me want to cry. Frank's rewrites actively make the show worse. It was somehow even less visually stimulating than the national tour, and more than anything, we were just deliriously bored the whole time. 0 out of 10. Jekyll and Hyde in Concert was a touring concert version of the show that played in North America and South Korea from 2004 to 2007. It starred Rob Evan once again as Jekyll and Hyde, and in the US tour, he was joined by Brandy Burkhart as Emma and Kate Schindel as Lucy. In South Korea, Julie Reber played Emma and Mandy Gonzalez played Lucy. And the reason I'm covering this one is because there is an official album of it known as Jekyll and Hyde Resurrection, with all new arrangements and orchestrations by Jeremy Roberts, many of which feature electric guitar played by Alex Skolnick, who plays for bands like Testament, Savatage, and the Trans-Siberian Orchestra, which Rob Evan was also a part of. And Frank Wildhorn hand-selected Alex to be in this album, saying, "It all became clear when I heard Alex's incredible guitar playing. It is his sound, his sense of theater, and the passion that lives in his playing that was, for me, the musical voice that I had to have for these songs." So let's give it a listen and see what we think. The first track is Prologue / I Need to Know. The music is still recognizable, but the sound is very different, but I still kind of fucks with it. What I don't fucks with so much is Rob's overly breathy, overly dramatic monologue reading.
Each of us, there are two natures. If this primitive duality of man, good and evil,
but I didn't have too much time to think about that because then the electric guitar kicked in. Holy shit, it's so cheesy, but in a way I love. It's so unnecessary and over the top. The random guitar riffs throughout the song had me dying. Go off, Alex! And that fucking beat drop, I'm dead!
His soul is black when he turns his back upon good. I need to find a way to get inside the tortured mind. Man.
Rob pops off, but I need to hear Anthony sing this arrangement. Stat. But fucking finally, I love this shit. This is awesome. And I know Frank for sure thought this sounded so badass, but personally, I love it because it's slop. It's so camp. God, I'm living. I can't fucking wait for Alive. Oh my god. But first we have Take Me As I Am. So this one is slower and somehow has even more wind chimes than the original. So, no electric guitar in this one, unfortunately. It's alright. Rob and Brandy do great, but all in all, nothing really new or original about this one, other than the wind chimes. Bring on the men. First off, it sounds much more smarmy to start off. I'm loving it. This one also much slower than the original. I don't hate it, but I also don't love it. Let's hear that beat drop.
So let's bring on the men.
Okay, that was disappointing. Oh god, don't let this one be bad. This is supposed to be a party song. It needs to be upbeat. The slower parts are fun, but they shouldn't be the whole song. That was very disappointing, unfortunately. I think electric guitar would have saved it. I really, really don't want to be let down by this album, especially after such a strong start, but the next track is This Is the Moment. Fingers crossed. Oh my god, the guitar is back. Yes, please.
I'll gather up my past and make some sense at last. This is the moment.
Okay, disappointing beat drop. We can come back from this.
When all I've lived for becomes mine.
Okay, it's getting there.
This is the moment, my final test. Destiny beckoned, I never reckoned second best.
Hell yes, go off, Alex. Give me more.
The greatest moment of them
This is the shit I want. Okay, yeah, rocky start, and the guitar didn't go quite as hard as I wanted. I wanted some serious earth-shattering finger-ripping riffs in there, but overall, not bad. I was jamming. But now is the true test, transformation. I'm gonna be so depressed if this one doesn't go off. So please, God, let them rip. Okay, start slow, but that's expected. That's usual.
No noticeable behavioral differences.
Okay, he does the giggle thing I don't like. That's a strike, but let's continue.
show the world.
My God. What's this? Something is happening.
I can't explain. Something inside me, a breathtaking pain, devours and consumes me and drives me insane.
Yes, this goes hard. Oh man, I'm so hyped now. Let's hear Alive. I'm so ready. I'm ascending.
There's no feeling like being in
There are a few choices here and there vocally I don't like, but they're honestly nitpicks. This fucks severely. Holy shit. The guitar, the drums, Rob is fucking killing it. I'm gonna come for real if I don't calm down. So let's slow it down. Girls of the Night. This one is good, but it sounds very similar to the concept album, so I don't really have anything else to say about it other than it should have had electric guitar. Up next is a real treat. This is an original song from this album written for Emma to sing. If you only knew. And I fucking loved it. First of all, electric guitar is present, so it's already great. Second are the lyrics. It's clearly Emma singing to Jekyll about how much shit she has to go through and endure to love him, and that if he doesn't change his shit and shape the fuck up, she might just fucking leave him. It rips hard. Brandy goes off. It's so good. And it's exactly what Emma needed as a character. I know this is a concert version, so it's not actually part of the story, but it should be. It really should be. Emma deserves to crash out, and this is the perfect song to do it.
If you were not so blind, together we could find the peace of mind that makes our dream come true. If you only knew.
The next track is Sympathy Tenderness. Once again, it sounds exactly like all the other versions. I don't have anything else to say about it. What I'm really excited about is Someone Like You. This would absolutely rip with electric guitars, and I'm hoping and praying it'll have them. So it starts off pretty slow, slower than the original, and the first chorus is honestly super underwhelming. But then, oh yeah, baby, those electric guitars kick in.
If someone like you found someone like me, then suddenly nothing would ever be the same. My heart would take a wing, and I'd feel so
Yes, this is exactly like I wanted it to sound. My only other critique is that I wish it ended more like the original, where the song reaches this crescendo and then the electric guitar and drums will be going crazy before cutting to silence, and then we get those final last slow, sweet notes again. That would have really sold it for me. But other than that, this one scratched that itch. Good work. Once Upon a Dream, once again, very one-to-one with the original. Nothing new to say about this. The next track, though, is Reflections, Jekyll Soliloquy, and it does something that I wish all the other slow songs did. Have random, completely unnecessary bits with electric guitar.
Hyde, alone in the ranks of mankind, is pure evil.
It's so unneeded, but so good. It's camp. We need to amp up the camp. And speaking of amping up the camp, it's back, bitches. The world has gone insane. Words cannot describe how severely this rips. Holy shit. My only critique is that I wish this composition matched the original a little more closely, but this fucks so hard. Alex is shredding and Rob is going fucking crazy. He's screeching like he's in Jesus Christ Superstar. It's incredible. I am living. And who the fuck is that drummer? They're killing it too. And the fucking alive motif at the end, brother, just kill me now. I've seen it all. I can rest easy. Next track is No One Knows Who I Am. Unfortunately, this one is another copy paste. Nothing to add here. The next song, however, I have a lot of thoughts on. It's a dangerous game. Okay, this one sounds very... I'm not sure how to feel about it. It's almost giving Britney a little bit. And I love Britney, but I'm not really loving this. Hyde needs to fucking stop whispering. It's killing me.
It's a dangerous game.
Especially when he takes a sip of that ice cold Pepsi. What the hell was that?
A strange romance.
But something strange happens. The longer I listen to it, the more I starts to fucks with it. And then those violins kick in and holy shit, I kind of fucking loving this now.
One speaks, not one word.
Oh yeah, this fuck's heavy. I have no idea what the fuck this vibe is, but it's vibing. This one's going on the sex playlist for sure. In His Eyes. Guys, can you believe it? It's another copy paste. Is what I said for the first half of this song, but guess what, sluts? That electric guitar kicks in. Yeah, let's go, Alex.
But he can't conceal from me the love in his eyes. I know their every look. His eyes, they're like an open book. His eyes, and most of all, the look that hypnotized me.
Electric guitar really does fix everything, doesn't it? This song goes hard now. Let's go, ladies. That ripped. Next track is The Way Back. It starts typically, but that first hint of guitar, ooh, it's juicy. Alex, you fucking legend. The guitar mixed with the traditional orchestra. Oh my God, I'm gonna fucking come, dude. My stomach was in knots listening to this.
God, you must help me carry on when it seems all hope has gone. I have got to carry
I hate to keep saying that shit ripped, but that shit fucking ripped. Holy shit. Okay, A New Life. I'm very interested in this one. I hope it's not just another copy paste. Finger crossed for guitar. Okay, so it's not just a copy and paste. There's certain stank on different parts of the song. Oh yes, here it is, the guitar. I love the amped up orchestra. I would have loved more guitar, but I'll take what I can get. Great job, guys. Okay, now deep breath. It's time for confrontation. I'm gonna be so for real and just say I'm gonna end it all if this isn't good. So let's listen.
Separate Jekyll from Hyde. Can't you see it's over now? It's time to die. No, not I, only you. If I die, you'll die too. You'll die in me. I'll be you. Damn you, Hyde! Set me free. Can't you see you are me? No! Deep inside, I am you. You are Hyde. No, never. Yes, forever. God damn you, Hyde. Take all your evil deeds and rot in hell. I'll see you there, Jekyll. Never!
Oh my god, guys. I'm gonna come. I'm gonna fucking come. The soul of rock is flowing through my body. I'm going to fucking heaven. That was so fucking sick. And the original opening too, fucking yes! I was literally screaming. It was perfect. Like, I even liked the corny never at the end. I never liked the never. If anything, it should go harder. Why stop at blowing my tits clean off, make my face melt? I can handle it. All right, now to close us out with the last track from this album, Epilogue, Once Upon a Dream, Reprise. This one is also new to me, so let's see what it is. This one is a trio with Emma, Jekyll, and Lucy singing, and those harmonies, holy shit.
And I wasn't afraid. The dream was so enticing, but now I see it fade.
That was buttery. I thought this was gonna be a letdown, but that was very fucking good. Don't get me wrong, I still would have preferred a big grand finale, but that was enjoyable. Good job, guys. Okay, after listening to that, all previous opinions fucking obliterated. I think Jekyll and Hyde needs to fully commit itself to being a full-out rock opera. That's what would save this musical. Forget rewrites, forget everything. Electric guitar only, stat. I love how Rob did this perfect mixture of both traditional Broadway and operatic singing and hard rock screamo type singing. It was amazing. And Alex fucking killed it on the guitar. My only complaint really is that I just wish there was more guitar. It was fucking epic. Seriously, it was so good. I definitely recommend you check this one out. It's even on Spotify. Add it to your playlist. 8 out of 10. Okay, we went from an epic low to an epic high. Please God, don't let the next section ruin my high. Both during and after the Broadway run, there were many touring productions of the show between 1999 and 2017, both in the US, UK, and South Korea, where they loved the show for some reason. Really, it's super popular there, I don't know why. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't going to review the international tour because based on what I could find, there wasn't anything that would suggest there was any drastic differences between the Broadway production and any of the touring shows, but then I found a 2009 pro shot on YouTube, and I wondered how it was possible I could have missed this one in all my years of trying to find a pro shot other than the fucking Broadway one, only to realize the reason was because this one was only uploaded to YouTube last year. But I was excited to watch this and hopefully find that the issues that I had been fixed. God, I'm hoping. According to the video description, this production was filmed in Daegu, South Korea. The cast includes Brad Little as Jekyll and Hyde, Belinda Wollaston as Lucy, and yeah, unfortunately, Whoever uploaded this video said that Lisa Carew is played by Emma Carew, which is wrong for 2 reasons, because the character's name is Emma in this version, not Lisa, and it also doesn't include the real actress's fucking name. So unfortunately, I can't tell you who is playing Emma in this production. I tried to look it up, but not even the Jekyll and Hyde fan wiki had any answers for me, so that's how you know it's really a lost cause. Okay, let's take a look. It's just so disappointing. This was another opportunity for Frank to fix what every single critique was telling him to fix, and he fixed a little bit of it, but left most of the most horrendous errors the same. It almost makes me wish I didn't waste my time watching this one if Frank didn't bother to actually make any major changes. But alas, we still have a few more rounds to get through. 2 out of 10. In 2012, Frank was back on his rewriting bullshit and wrote yet another concept album for Jekyll and Hyde in anticipation for the show to have a revival on Broadway. And a bit of an aside here, but can I just say how fucking sad it is to try to do a revival only 11 years after the original show closed? Like, give it a fucking break, dude. Let the dead lie. That being said, I am a little excited to listen to this because I've heard a lot of the songs have been reworked, hopefully to fix some of those god-awful issues I've been mentioning. I'm also excited because of the cast. We have Constantine Maroulis from fucking American Idol as Jekyll and Hyde, Teal Wicks, who's played Elphaba on Broadway playing Emma, and the one I'm most excited for, Deborah Cox playing Lucy. I freaking adore Deborah Cox. She is so insanely talented. She was actually just in the Broadway revival of The Wiz. She did a fucking fantastic job. If you haven't already listened to the cast recording of that, do it. It's a fucking fantastic musical, much better than this shit. But you know what? I have my hopes up now. So let's listen. First track is Lost in the Darkness. Disappointed that it's still here, but maybe it's better.
Lost in the darkness, silence surrounds you.
No, still boring. Still a horrible way to open a show. But at least Constantine sounded good. Although he sounds very young, even though he was 37 when this was recorded. He's a much higher tenor than the people who usually play Jekyll, so we'll see how I feel. I Need to Know starts much more dramatic. I'm not hating it.
Why does he revel in murder and madness? What is it makes him be less than he should? Why is he doomed not to reach his potential? His soul is black when he turns his back up on you.
Oh my god. Is this gonna slap?
I need to
Okay, Constantine is great, but I really think this would be much better with a more traditional baritone singing it. Like, bring back Rob Evan or Anthony. That would be sick. But that ripped. I loved that. Let's keep that energy.
Sometimes I see past the horizon.
Oh. Okay, never mind then. I'm not really digging how Constantine sounds in this song. He sounds very strained and like stereotypically emo rock sounding. Whiny. I don't like it. I'm also not liking how his voice is mashing with Teal's. She's crushing it.
Give me your hands. Give me your heart. Swear to me we'll never part. You know I am. Oh, this is who
Oh god, but it's a bad mix. Woof. That was a rough listen. Okay, but now no one knows who I am. Let's go, Deborah.
Look at me and tell me who I am, why I am what I am.
Now not gonna lie, I'm a little let down. I think Deborah has such a powerful voice that she struggled with the more subdued nature of this song. On the more powerful note, she sounded amazing, but on the softer notes, not so much. Okay, next is Bring on the Men. She's gonna fucking thrive in this song.
I don't succeed, so let's bring on the men and let the fun begin.
What the fuck was that? Like, what the fuck was that? Deborah is a known high belter, and they changed this song to be a soft, breathy number. It fucking sucks. It doesn't fit her voice at all. Frank set her up for failure. Why the fuck would you do that, Frank? Fuck you, Frank. I'm fucking pissed off. This shit better turn around right the fuck now, or I'm gonna fucking crash out. I swear to God, if This Is the Moment is bad, let's listen.
This was the moment, the greatest moment of them all.
It was fine. I just don't think Constantine's voice fits the character. It's like a high tenor playing the Phantom. It just doesn't hit right. Yeah, it was fine. Oh God, no, how far we've fallen. I really hate to say this, but I think I wouldn't hate this so much if someone else was singing it. There are certain parts of it where Constantine has a more bassiness to his voice that sounds great, but the rest of it, he sounds so high. Not to mention, his voice just doesn't sound different enough as Hyde. He really doesn't work as these characters, but you know, I think he could slay as either Judas or Jesus in Jesus Christ Superstar. He's got a great voice for that show. His work and nothing more. I'm honestly not sure how I feel about this one. It's so similar to the original, but also it sounds so different at the same time. It almost sounds like a psychedelic Christmas song. I'm not sure how else to describe it. That one stumped me for sure. I'm gonna go ahead and say I wasn't a fan. Okay, Sympathy Tenderness. Same issues as before. Deborah really struggles with these softer songs.
Sympathy, tenderness, warm as the summer.
I just hope Frank doesn't do her dirty with Someone Like You. Someone in the comments said that this song sounds like a pop version of musical songs they put in end credits. And I hard agree, but in the best way possible.
I peer through windows, watch life go by, dream of tomorrow, and wonder why.
Deborah was finally given the opportunity to let her vocals shine in this song. Let's hope Frank keeps it up. The next track is Once Upon a Dream, but Jekyll is singing it this time. At least the first half of it. I didn't enjoy his section, but at least it was short. Emma sings the second half. Teal sounds great, but it's just a copy-paste of the original. It's a shame it wasn't updated. Up next is In His Eyes. Deborah is still unfortunately struggling with the softer section, and the harmonies are suffering for it. Okay, next we have It's a Dangerous Game.
Lucy. Come to me. Close.
Oh God, am I interrupting something?
Closer. Oh, Lucy. Lucy.
Jesus Christ, like they're having real sex right now, aren't they? what the fuck? Why does this song keep getting hornier and hornier with every update? There's parts of it that sound very similar to the Resurrection album, but I don't like it as much as the Resurrection album because it feels so much more out of place among the rest of the songs in this album. In fact, the sound of this whole album is all over the fucking place. It's so uncohesive. Deborah and Constantine fucking kill it though. I love their performances.
It's a sin with no name, no remorse and no shame, fire, fury, and ferment. All the devils to blame, and the angels proclaim. It's a dangerous game.
Oh god, they're fucking again. And now what the fuck is happening? This is just straight up porno music now. This is goofy as hell. I don't like it. Girls of the Night is back, which is nice to see, but this one is still a pretty copy-paste though. It just has more snare drum.
Somewhere I know there's a someday that's just for me.
Next track is The Way Back.
The experiment is out of control. The experiment is out of control. The experiment is out of control. The experiment is out of control.
Somehow I have to get back to the place where my journey started.
What the fuck is this? You know how I said an electric guitar would fix everything? I was wrong. It's too much. I think the perfect balance is like only one or two guitars accompanying a full traditional orchestra. When it veers into too much into the hard rock territory, it starts to just sound so goofy. All right, A New Life. Don't fuck this up for us, Frank. I'm begging you.
Each day is a brand new
So it's not fucked, but it's also not reworked. It's another copy-paste. It's just so disappointing. Deborah sounds great, but I was really hoping the song might actually sound different. You know, actually sound reworked. I'm so tired. Let's go. Confrontation.
You will never get away from me. All that you are is a face in the mirror. I close my eyes and you disappear. I'm what you face when you face in the mirror. Long as you live, I will still be here.
This one is just trying way too hard to be scary. It also just sounds way too contemporary. I think this show would thrive as a rock opera, but this is just rock. And Constantine's Jekyll and Hyde just sounds exactly the same as one another. And I haven't mentioned it yet, but he just isn't doing a British accent at all. No one really is. And then Constantine attempts it. It sounds awful. And the truth is, this song is not even really bad. It's just not it. It's just disappointing. This whole album was. Overall, I was very underwhelmed by this album, which just sucks so bad because it had such a strong start. It's a shame that Frank marketed this as being reworked when really all he did was make the majority of the songs sound even more 90s and therefore even more outdated in 2012. I Need to Know sounded so good, and I feel if he leaned more into that sound, especially for Lucy's songs, this album would have been so much better. He did Deborah so dirty throughout all of this. What is the fucking point of hiring a high belter like her if you're just going to keep all the soft, breathy songs and even reduce the amount of belting she gets to do? But honestly, I'm not even mad at this point. I'm just disappointed. 2 out of 10. In 2012, Jekyll and Hyde started its revival run on Broadway at the Marquis Theater, and let me tell you something. It was a disaster. After only 15 previews and 29 performances, the Jekyll and Hyde revival closed early. At first, I was just going to leave it at that, especially since there didn't seem to be any recordings of this production. Not even a measly, crusty, low-quality slime tutorial. But something was bothering me. In particular, it was 2 things. Number 1, was that in the comments of all the 2012 concept album songs, everyone was saying how much better it sounded on stage. Because it is just a concept album after all. There are potentially many changes that were made between the concept album and the stage. So I really wanted to listen to the difference. And number 2, I desperately wanted to know how rancid this show was in order to get closed so quickly. You could say, I need to know. And so I found this, a 2-part video recording of the Broadway revival on YouTube. However, it's an audio-only recording. There aren't any visuals of this production I can find other than a few scattered promos floating around YouTube. So I'm gonna have to make some assumptions about what's happening on stage here and there, but I'll try to piece together what I can. Overall, the comments were right. It was at least better than the 2012 concept album, but that isn't saying much. I will say, for all its issues, the revival did fix the pacing problems. This felt really tight and snappy, so I'll applaud it for that. Someone has to. You should have heard the golf claps the audience was giving between each song. Truly a testament to the quality of this production. It also got rid of the stupid-ass narration by Utterson and sometimes Danvers, so that was great. But a few golden moments aside, this really was a hot mess of a production. It's no wonder to me why it closed early. 3 out of 10. And that's really the end of it. After the 2012 revival, there have been no more official updates to the show. You'll still see productions that are different than the ones I reviewed because production companies have so many different options to choose from that they tend to mix the different versions together until they get something that they like. And that's really saying something, isn't it? That this show is so bad that theater companies will have to pick and choose different parts from multiple different versions just to try to Frankenstein together something that resembles a good story. I hate to admit this, but after going down this lengthy, girthy rabbit hole, it's made me realize a painfully obvious truth. Jekyll and Hyde was never good. Even when we go back to the first productions that constantly sold out, that extended the runs, that broke records on sales, those shows still received mixed to poor reviews. My flaming of the script, those problems I pointed out, were always there. Just listen to the acting parts of the concept album, Camp to High Heaven. The only reason the show was so popular with audiences, despite being so bad, was because the music was so good. Jekyll and Hyde's real downfall came when Frank refused to leave good enough alone and overworked the score until Jekyll and Hyde's only redeeming quality disintegrated, and even the fans had to admit it was garbage. But in the meantime, there have been no new rewrites. The show still has major issues and most likely will continue to have them for the rest of time. But I don't want to end this whole massive video on a sour note. If you're a friend of the channel, you'll know I usually do a spoof sponsor segment with all my videos, but I didn't do it for this one, and that's because I had a different idea in mind this time around. I was thinking about how I spent this whole video critiquing other people's performances, so it's only fair if I give you one of my own for you all to critique. So, here goes nothing.
This is the moment, this is the day, when I send all my doubts and demons on their way. Every endeavor I have made ever is coming into play, is here and now. Today, this is the moment, this is the time, the momentum and the moment are in rhyme. Give me this moment, this precious chance. I'll gather up my and make some sense at last. This is the
moment when all I've done, all of the dreaming, scheming, and screaming become one. This is the day. See it sparkle and shine when all I've lived for becomes mine. For all these years I faced the world alone, and now the time has come to prove to them I made it on my own. This is the moment, my final test. Destiny beckoned, I never reckoned second best. I won't look down, I must not fall. This is the moment, the sweetest moment of them all. This is the moment, damn all the odds. This day or never, I'll say forever with the gods. When I look back, I will always recall, moment for moment, this was the moment, the greatest moment of them all.
I hope you all got some enjoyment out of that. I know I sounded like a little boy at certain parts of it, but I tried my best. I'll go ahead and post that clip of that to my singing channel and link it in the description below if you want to watch it again. But if you didn't enjoy that, I do hope you enjoyed the rest of this video. I worked really hard on it, and it was truly a labor of love, and I can't thank you enough for sticking around and watching the whole thing. Like, oh my god, you're insane for that. I love you. And I heard if you subscribe to my YouTube channel, you'll also get to sing your own self-inspiration song that will become immediately ironic once you fail miserably and turn yourself into a monster. And if irony isn't your cup of tea, don't even worry about it. Bye.
Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, one and the same on opposite sides, took a town on a terrible ride. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, a curious tale I have to